Hi, I'm Mike Yanessa. Welcome to another episode of Car Stories on PCTV. I'm here at my company, Wheels in Motion, at 525 East High Street. One of the shows I did this year was SEMA out in Las Vegas. SEMA is a really cool show. It's not open to the general public, it's for businesses only, and I have some film footage from SEMA, so let's watch and we'll see what it's all about. So, here is some of the vendors at the SEMA show in Las Vegas. You can see in the background we have K&N, Flowmaster. The SEMA show has speed equipment, wheels, body shop equipment, tires. I mean, it's endless. We were there for 2 days and we covered about a third of it, maybe a quarter of it. So next year we're going to go back and spend a couple more days there to see all they have to offer. SEMA is not open to the general public, it's for businesses only. So it's inside the convention center in Las Vegas and it's also outside. It is unbelievable. There's cars there built by all the famous guys you see on TV like Chip Foose and Gas Monkey Garage. And there's a competition for the 10 best cars at SEMA. So again, you just can't go to the general public. It's for businesses. You actually have to have go through a approval process to get tickets to go. You have to work for the company. I can't bring a friend with me. You're allowed to bring your spouse. That's it. But it was really neat for me because a lot of the companies, you're dealing with the company. You're dealing direct. So the prices are really good and the information is direct. It's not through a warehouse or a distributor. And as you can see outside here, they have, there was a live radio show going on, of course, SEMA souvenirs, and it was just a lot to see. Really, really cool. Here's just some of the cars, and you'll see more. I tried to do my best with these videos. I'm not the best at it, but I tried to bring back some, broad view of the different things they have. So SEMA, what does it stand for? Specialty Equipment Market Association. And here we are outside again. You can see some of the custom cars, this beautiful Cadillac. These are some of the cars that are up for the top 10 awards. Full customs, I mean, just over the top, very expensive. There must have been a half a dozen 59, 60 Cadillacs out there that were just gorgeous. Of course, Camaros. Chip Foose had a 65 Impala, which you'll see later on in the video, that was actually like shortened and on a Corvette chassis, and just unbelievable. I've never been there. This was our first trip out there. My son went, Jeff Morris that works for me went, and all of us were just overwhelmed at the stuff to look at, the cars, the parts, and the products. So how about this one? This one actually is unbelievable. I don't know enough about it to tell you what it is, but it's a classic car. It belongs to Jay Leno, and there was a TV show on it, on I think Speed or Velocity. It's just an unbelievable boat tail. They call it a boat tail design because the back of the car comes to a taper, and this is the kind of stuff that was out there that you just don't see anymore, or anywhere else but SEMA. The cars, the products, really, really cool show. Of course, Las Vegas, if you've never been there, that's a whole nother story. The action at night and the casinos are just unbelievable. The over-the-top decorations. See in the background on the building, you'll see posters. They're not posters, they're vinyl wrap. So they wrap this whole building, the convention center, on the outside just for the SEMA show and then take it all down. This is an unbelievable Cadillac, another one, custom car. In the back is an old Curtis race car that's just unbelievable. Dodge pickup truck there, full custom. This is a car from Curtis Craft, who made race cars back in the 50s. Of course, McGuire's and Moroso and Hearst, and UPS has a shipping department there. If you buy something, you have it shipped home. The product names. See in the background, that's what I was talking about. That's all wrap. It's all vinyl. Imagine the cost to put that on the building for just a few weeks, and then it all comes down. 64 Impala was really neat. Custom paint, convertible. '61 Impala lowrider. These were some cars from California that do the hydraulics, the hopper cars. Just really cool. So, some of the products they had out there, of course, were waxes and toys, automotive art, wrap. If anyone knows what wrapping is, what they actually do is they put vinyl on cars instead of painting them. They had wrap companies there doing wraps right as you watched. So out in the parking lot, they had a full race course set up. And you could take a 2015 Camaro, a 2015 Mustang, and they race them inside these barriers, and it's called drifting. If you're not familiar with it, basically you're on the throttle the whole time, and you're driving the car sideways most of the time, doing burnouts the whole time. And you'll see here, I believe it's a brand new Mustang. Here he comes now. And it's just pedal to the metal and don't lift, and you're going around corners, and you're drifting. You're actually using the torque and the horsepower to steer the car. Unbelievable. This was outside in the parking lot. Of course, you can see the beautiful Las Vegas scenery in the background. It was warm out there every day. Beautiful, beautiful place to be in Las Vegas. But yeah, this was something to see. They had, like I said, new Mustangs, new Camaros with Pro Chargers and sticky tires and all the latest speed equipment on it. And I'm not quite sure how you sign up to do this, or what does it cost, or the insurance liability, but definitely something cool to watch in person. I've seen drifting on TV, but here you are live right there while they're doing it, and it's quite a show. There's the Foose car that I was telling you about earlier. And if you look, hey, nice '65 Impala. But if you look closer, they actually shortened the trunk, shortened the roof line, and it's all on a Corvette suspension. So there it is going up. It goes up in front of a stage, and everybody looks at it, and all the judges look at it, and of course the crowd. I was right there. And then when it's done, it comes off the stage, and you get to look at it like you can walk right up to all the cars. Ring Brothers had a beautiful carbon fiber Mustang out there. And these are all the top 10 cars now we're walking through. They were nominated. '56 Chevy convertible, really cool. I mean, look at the interior, the custom work. This isn't stuff you order out of a catalog. It's all handmade and just way, way over the top. And the people, I mean, the crowds were unbelievable. Here's one of the top 10 cars. This Chevelle was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the fit, the finish, the stance, wheels, tires, four-wheel disc brakes, big block. And in front of it, you'll see a little glimpse of the Ring Brothers Mustang. They're known for their Mustangs, and that one, the whole body was carbon fiber, and it was unbelievable. You thought it was steel. That's how straight it was. Nice Dart with a modern Hemi engine in it. So they had drifting. Well, they even had drifting remote control cars, and of course the big kids could do it, the little kids could do it. And they had these RC cars that were very fast, and you could race it around this little track that they had set up out in the parking lot. Most of the show is indoors. The parking lot's only a piece of it. And like I said, it's really cool. It's divided into sections. There's like a detailing section, and waxes and wraps and the water transfer. Then there's a tool and equipment section, which is all body shop equipment and automotive equipment. Then there's a speed section, and then there's a new product section that has all new, the latest and greatest products. So we got to see, like I said, the collision part of it, the body shop part of it, the speed equipment part of it, and the outside. There's a lot of the show that we didn't even have a chance to see. And we walked, 10 hours, 9 hours, 2 days in a row. I never thought it would be that big. Look at this car here. This is unbelievable. I mean, it's definitely unique. You might not care for it because it's so over the top, but the craftsmanship and the talent that would take to build something this ornate, and it just, again, where are you going to see something like this? With the gears in the back and the motor and the way the driver sits. And they were telling you about it a little bit that a crew of guys worked day and night to build this thing. Just, I've never seen anything like it. And you have to admire, even if you don't care for it, you have to admire the workmanship that it takes to put something like that together. So when I was out at SEMA, I was looking for new equipment for the body shop. I was looking for some problem solvers. And one of the companies I talked to out there was called Sonex. They're a company in Germany, and it's all they sell is detailing products. Here's one of their catalogs. They actually sent me all this stuff, and it's free samples to try. I haven't used it yet. I don't know how expensive it is, but here it is. Tire cleaner, polymers to put on your paint to protect the paint from like sap and so forth, wax, buffing pads, all the products in the back, glass cleaner, wheel cleaner, and so forth. So what we'll do is I'll use it on my own truck, or I'll use it on a couple applications, try it out, see if it works, see if it's cost effective, and that's what we do here at Wheels in Motion. And SEMA was the perfect place to find some new products. One of the things, if you're not aware of, I always tell my customers about microfibers. You can buy them just about at any store, but I'm amazed at how many people don't know about these. And Final Inspection or Final Wipe, this is a new product from the Detail King, and there's also some in Sonex. And when you're done washing your car, you spray this on and wipe it off. I've demoed it before, but I've always liked to tell people about this because it keeps your car looking good in between detailing. So the microfiber rags are very important, especially on dark colors. So this is another product we're going to try and see which one's the best. Buffing. Traditional buffer. This is one of the buffers I grabbed out of the shop. It's a DeWalt buffer. It's a wool pad, which cuts very good. When we sand and polish a car or try to remove defects from it, we always start out with the wool and a rough compound. The buffer rotates, okay? You need to be trained a little to use this. You could burn the paint, you could hit an antenna, you could do damage to the car because it is a very aggressive machine. It does have speed controls, but this is what's it can walk away from you, it can rip things off the car, and but you need to do that to get the shine up. The other problem with this type of buffer is the wax gets everywhere. It flings. So you have to pressure wash the car afterwards and pick out all the cracks and around all the emblems. And it's a necessity if you want that show car finish, but it is not for the novice, and it's not easy to use. So one of the products that I got from SEMA, and I actually had looked into before I went, is the Rufus. It's made in Italy. It's a orbital buffer. Now, it doesn't go in circles like that. It jitterbugs back and forth. You're familiar with these, like your chain stores sell them for your do-it-yourselfers. But the difference with this, it's a very aggressive oscillation. In other words, this one oscillates 15 millimeters. There's one that oscillates 21 millimeters. So it's different than the ones that you buy at Walmart or Pep Boys or something like that. This is a professional buffer from Rufus, and it's designed to take sand scratches out, imperfections in the paint, and it's really cool. I bought this one. They didn't give me this for free. Quite expensive, okay? And it's a system. Green pad, green wax, green buffing pad is the most aggressive. So that's what you use first. I just used it today on a customer car for the first time. Really cool product. You don't need as much with this. And because it doesn't go in a circle, it doesn't spit the wax everywhere and make everything mess. You only use a few drops on the pad. Green, green microfiber to wipe it off. Blue, blue pad, blue microfiber. Yellow, yellow pad, yellow microfiber, and white, and white. If it's a black car or a dark color, you might have to do all 4 steps. But if it's like the white car I did today, I only did 3 steps because a white car, you don't need that final. Very nice product. I like it so far. This, they make 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large. This is a medium. The only negative I would say is this is a little bit small to do a hood. It takes you a little bit longer. But less product, no swirl marks. This will leave swirl marks because it's rotating. This is a jitterbug. Basically, it's like your hand going 1,000 miles an hour. So it's random. It's not orbital. So no swirl marks. And that's really a thing. What will happen in a black car, for example, a lot of times we'll buff it. It'll look great. The customer will leave. And when they wash it, the swirl marks will come back because you washed off some of the wax and some of the oils. With this, you never have to worry about that. So Italy, Sonex is from Germany. This is the kind of stuff that you get exposed to at SEMA. And around here, nobody handles this product. So really cool thing so far. I used it once, and I like it. So Rupes, Bigfoot, that's what it's called. Now, this over here, I bought this, and I actually put it on my truck. They're called wheel bands. It's a different colored band that goes around the lip of your wheel. Gives you a blue wall, yellow, red, white, pink, green, and it does 2 things. One, my pickup truck, which I put it on, now has a red stripe around it to match my truck. 2, it protects the wheel from when you hit a curb. So if you hit a curb, you're not going to damage the wheel, you're going to damage this rim protect. And I'll show you real quick how it works. Like I said, I did my truck. I haven't done any other ones yet. This is 2-phase tape. They give you an alcohol prep pad, and you can use some of your own alcohol or enamel reducer. Make sure the tire or the wheel is clean, because remember, if the tire's on the car, there's Armor All and tire dressing, so the wheel has got to be clean. And you stick this on. Now this wheel has a stripe. Well, we're going to cover it up. We don't want that silver stripe. So basically, you stick this on, and of course you make it straight, and attach it to the wheel. This wheel wasn't wiped or prepped or anything, so, and you have to make sure it's on. You might want to use a little heat if it's a cold. I did mine on the lift. I cheated, so it's on the lift. I heated it and did it. And then you take this red, purple, here's a white kit, okay? And you snap that inside this track like that. And now you just changed that silver stripe to a red stripe. So again, now on my truck, the tires bubble out. But on some of these cars with the low profile type tires, you got a $500 wheel and you hit a curb and you're on it. If you would hit a curb with this, it'll just chew up the plastic and you buy a new piece. It costs $100 for 4 wheels, any color, and you can do it yourself, or you can, we can put them on for you. It took me maybe a half an hour to do my truck, and you can have a red stripe, green stripe, anything you want. So it's called Wheel Bands by Rim Protect. We're the only ones around that have it here at Wheels in Motion. So if this is something that you think your hot rod or your new Cadillac should have, and it doesn't work on all wheels, you have to have the right lip. If the lip is designed or got grooves cut in it, it might not work. But if it's a flat rim like my truck or like this one, that's what you can do. So another great product that I brought back from SEMA for here at Wheels in Motion at 525 East High Street. So these are the small items that came from SEMA. If you want to come to the back, we'll show you the latest and state-of-the-art body shop equipment. So here at Wheels in Motion, in our collision department and our restoration department, we like to do things right. And a lot of the new cars today, the way they're put together, you need the equipment to fix them right. So at SEMA, I did do some research on some new equipment. I was looking at it before I went there, but it was nice out there because the frame machine guys were right there. The booths they set up, the displays they set up were awesome. So we decided to buy all Chief equipment. Chief is a company that makes frame machines, and this is called the Vector. It's a measuring system. It's computerized. And the way it works is basically there's a computer in it, just like your home computer, and inside this drawer is target plates. And you hang the target plates underneath the car. When it's in an accident and it comes in, you hang these target plates, and there's a laser, this red thing back here, that sets on top of the frame machine, and within minutes, you can measure the car to the millimeter and see where it's bent and what you're going to do. As you're pulling the car on the frame machine, you have a live screen showing that the car is coming back into spec. So in other words, some shops do it with a tape measure, some shops do it with a tram bar. This is the correct way to do it, and the new cars today, or the tolerances are so close, this is what you need to do a perfect repair when the car is in a collision that has frame damage or structural damage. This is a computerized measuring system, okay? And it's made by Chief. This is a Chief frame machine. We used to have a Car-O-Liner. I traded that in and bought the Chief frame machine that matches the measuring system, and it has 3 towers on it that are fixed. So you can pull a car in 3 different directions and watch the measuring system, and it will show you when it's back in spec. So it takes the guesswork out, it gives you a better repair when the car is done, and it's the right way to do it. So that's one of the things that we got. The next item over here is a Chief spot welder, and this is really cool. This is the head. It has prongs on it, and we have different length prongs, okay, that you would reach, and we used it today for the first time on this tail panel on this car over here. These prongs go between the metal, and in the end of the, I don't know if you can see that there, there's a computer chip, okay? Antifreeze runs through this head to keep it cool. The computer chip tells the machine how thick the metal is and regulates the heat so you get perfect spot welds just like the factory. So in other words, if you have 1 sheet of metal, it'll put out so much heat. If you move it down a couple inches and you got 3 sheets of metal, it'll put out more heat, and it'll give you perfect spot welds just like it came from the factory. Before this, like many shops, we would just MIG weld them, which was okay, but it's not the same as the factory. If you look at this tail pan here, you can see we were welding, spot welding, just like it came from the factory. And then when it got to the frame rail, here's the inner structure of the frame rail. You can see the welds are much more deeper and defined because it's thicker metal. There's about 3 layers of metal there compared to 2. So really slick machine, very expensive, but the insurance companies want to see this. It's a better way to fix the car. And once this is all painted, it will look exactly like it did from new. That's our job, to bring the car back to pre-loss. Make it just like it was, that nobody would ever know it was in an accident. So the third piece of equipment, or fourth piece, is this welder. It's a multi-MIG, okay? There's 2 different welder heads on it. The one has aluminum rod that we can weld aluminum, okay? The other one has silicon bronze. It's fairly new. It's bronze and silicon in a rod, and you use that for welding sheet metal, putting patches in. It's a low heat. The reason for it is, say you're working on an old car and the metal's very rusty and thin, this will weld nicer than a MIG welder. But the main reason is a lot of the new cars recommend the silicon bronze because of the metal that they're using today. For example, behind the A-pillar, which is your windshield post, some of the metal behind there is like a white metal. And if you use a MIG welder and you heat up that white metal, it gets brittle and cracks. So it could cause future problems. It's not recommended by I-CAR. Silicon bronze is recommended by insurance companies, I-CAR, and it's, again, the proper way to replace panels on these new cars. And it can be used on old cars too. So silicon bronze and aluminum MIG welder, a spot welder, and the computerized measuring system makes Wheels in Motion state-of-the-art when it comes to collision repair. You all saw our Garmat booth, and we paint water-based paint. So these were 3 major pieces that we needed to make the repairs even better than anyone in the area. So again, a lot of the research and the hands-on came from me going to SEMA. Well, that about wraps it up for another episode of Car Stories. If we want to view past episodes, go to the PCTV network, and you can watch all the episodes online. In 2016, we have some really great shows lined up. If you have anybody that you think could share their car story, make sure you tell them to give me a call or stop in. And thanks again for tuning in to Car Stories. I'm Mike Yanessa. I'm here at Wheels in Motion. Good night.